прочитать аяты священного Корана мы приглашаем муфтия Татарстана, доктора исламских наук, Куран-хафиза Камиля, Хазрата Самигуллина. Внимание на экран. Это аяты суры Аль-Хашр, написанные рукой казанского каллиграфа для рукописного Корана. Казанский рукописный мусхаф – одно из последних достижений современной российской уммы.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العظيم.
Each moment of the future is reinforced by the past. Each child is a variation of a sage. The world is made stronger through the bond between generations. Tatarstan balances traditions and innovations. It's a land where the digital present draws inspiration from the ancient wisdom. It's a place where Russia welcomes Islamic countries every year to advance technology together. Technology means transparency, quality, belief in every decision. Digital tools change the economy. They make the processes clear and the partnership candid. That is how we create the ecosystem of trust. For ourselves, for our children, for our future. Welcome to such future. Russia, Islamic world, KazanForum 2025.
Дамы и господа, Уважаемые участники Международного экономического форума «Россия, исламский мир», KazanForum 2025. Приветствуем спикеров пленарного заседания. Гурбангулы Мелигулыевич Бердымухамедов, национальный лидер туркменского народа, председатель Халк Маслахаты Туркменистана. Анвар бин Ибрahim, премьер-министр Малайзии. Марат Шакирзянович Хуснуллин, заместитель председателя правительства Российской Федерации, председатель Организационного комитета по подготовке и проведению Международного экономического форума «Россия, исламский мир», KazanForum. Шахин Абдулла Оглы Мустафаев, заместитель премьер-министра Азербайджана. Джамшед Абдулхакимович Хаджаев, заместитель премьер-министра Республики Узбекистан. Рустам Нургалиевич Миниханов, раис Республики Татарстан, председатель группы стратегического видения «Россия, исламский мир». Модератор пленарного заседания Абделилла Белатик, генеральный секретарь Генерального совета исламских банков и финансовых учреждений Сибафи.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على مولانا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
Name of Allah, Almighty and Merciful.
Distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and good afternoon, good evening to you. It is a great pleasure to be here again for the KazanForum. But before we start, let me congratulate the leadership of the Russian Federation and Tatarstan for this fantastic gathering. For the last 16 years, when this started, trade between OIC countries and the Russian Federation stood at $40 billion. Last year, the trade between the two bodies were exceeding $140 billion. Congratulations for this increase, and congratulations to the organizers of the KazanForum for this. It certainly had a great impact on these activities. Today, we are pleased to welcome over 8,000 delegates to this event, with more than 22,500 other participants on side events in Kazan, attending this forum from over 100 countries. Welcome to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, to start off the program, we have two side sessions that will be ongoing. I would like first to have a welcome word. I attended this forum myself 10 years ago, and I am really beyond honored to attend this plenary session today. We have achieved a number of records, 150 events with participants from more than 100 countries. Before we formally start, I would like to convey the thanks and greetings from His Excellency Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, and Hussein Ibrahim Taha, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperations, and other leadership of the Tatarstan and the Russian Federations. Now let me invite Mr. Marat Hosnullin, Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation and Chairman of the Organizing Committee for the Preparation and Holding for the International Economic Forum, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Mr. Marat Hosnullin, the floor is yours.
Ассаламу алейкум, добрый день.
Good afternoon.
Уважаемые гости, рад приветствовать вас на пленарном заседании Международного экономического форума «Россия и исламский мир» KazanForum 2025. В начале своего выступления хочу зачитать приветственное слово президента Российской Федерации Владимира Владимировича Путина. Участникам и гостям 16-го Международного экономического форума «Россия и исламский мир» KazanForum. Уважаемые друзья, сердечно приветствую вас в гостеприимной Казани на 16-м Международном экономическом форуме. На протяжении столетий наша многонациональная страна была открыта для широкого взаимодействия с государствами исламского мира. И сегодня, несмотря на сложную международную обстановку, мы продолжаем успешно и последовательно расширять экономические, научные, образовательные, гуманитарные, межрегиональные контакты. Отмечу, что Татарстан – один из тех субъектов Российской Федерации, которые наиболее активно выстраивают подобные плодотворные и конструктивные отношения. В ходе форума вам предстоит обсудить перспективы дальнейшего укрепления наших связей в самых разных областях, в том числе технологических. Совместной работе по развитию цифровой финансовой системы будет посвящено заседание группы стратегического видения «Россия. Исламский мир» с участием представителей Организации исламского сотрудничества. В этом году мы празднуем 80-летие победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Обращение к этой знаменательной дате найдет достойное место в деловой и культурной программе форума. Нам важно беречь память об уроках истории, о мужестве и солидарности предков в борьбе с нацизмом, расизмом, колониализмом. И в наши дни только вместе мы сможем обеспечить устойчивое гармоничное развитие всего мирового сообщества, эффективно противостоять таким современным угрозам безопасности, как терроризм, экстремизм, эскалация локальных конфликтов. Уверен, что работа форума будет, как всегда, продуктивной, послужит углублению диалога и партнерства между нашими странами и народами. Желаю вам успехов и всего самого доброго. Президент Российской Федерации Владимир Владимирович Путин.
President of Russian Federation Vladimir Putin.
Уважаемые друзья, мы видим, что форум укрепляет наше партнерство со странами Организации исламского сотрудничества, в том числе в рамках двусторонних отношений. Хочу отметить растущий интерес к мероприятиям форума со стороны других государств и международных организаций.
The proof of that is a great number of participants and a wide geographical coverage of the countries. Relations of Russia with the Islamic world are characterized by the stable development and growth of economic indexes. I would like to thank our partners from Muslim countries for active participation in the events of the forum and for readiness to share their experience openly. Special thanks to the Republic of Tatarstan and all organizers for the high level of its preparation. I am sure that even this year the forum will make it possible to state new spheres of interaction and will be very useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Hosnullin.
Спасибо, Ваше Превосходительство, Марат Хоснуллин. А сейчас я передаю
Excellency Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, National Leader of the Turkmen people and Chairman of the Halk Maslahati of Turkmenistan. Please.
Distinguished participants, dear Rustam Nurgaliyevich, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, allow me to warmly welcome all participants of the 16th International Economic Forum, Russia, Islamic World, KazanForum, and to express my gratitude to the esteemed Rais of the Republic of Tatarstan, Rustam Nurgaliyevich Minnikhanov, for the invitation to take part and speak at this important event of international significance. Modern main trends in global development, the creation of new geo-economic realities, configurations and models present a number of major challenges to the Islamic world. It's obvious that addressing these challenges requires serious reflection and at times rethinking of the role and prospects of our countries in the modern economic order, accurate prioritization, maximum use of our objective advantages, and consolidation of potential in a solid practical basis.
Объединение потенциалов на прочной практической основе. И убежден, что
I'm convinced that today the Islamic world has every opportunity to act as one of the locomotives of global economic growth. Our countries demonstrate excellent indicators in such aspects as demographics, natural resources, and geographic location. The technological level is steadily rising, financial and organizational capabilities are growing, and the scientific and educational base is being strengthened. All this serves as a good prerequisite for initiating major breakthrough projects in various sectors and for increasing the role and position of Islamic countries in the global economic and investment space. Dear participants, dear attendees of the conference, Turkmenistan's approach to international economic cooperation is based on prioritizing the energy, transport, logistics, and technology sectors. And in this context, I believe that Islamic countries are called upon to form a single energy, transport, and technological belt of Eurasia, linking the continent from the Asia-Pacific region to the Middle East and European countries. If implemented, this partnership configuration will be able to ensure the shortest routes for the delivery of energy resources, goods, and services, thereby uniting vast spaces and powerful industrial and raw material centers. In strategic terms, such a belt will become a bridge of global interaction and, without a doubt, can positively influence trade and tariff policy and the overall atmosphere and health of the world economy. In this regard, Turkmenistan is actively promoting its strategy of revival of the Great Silk Road in practice. An important factor of such a constructive approach is our country's commitment to peace, social justice, and traditional values, which serve as our moral core and support, including in economic and commercial matters. In this sense, I'm convinced that the Islamic world is called upon to present models of effective and attractive cooperation. Achieving these goals will require coordinated energy policy among Islamic countries, coordination in improving the efficiency and facilitation of international transit, and strengthening logistical connectivity. At the same time, it should be noted that Turkmenistan's position has always been based on equality and recognition of interests of all participants in global and regional processes. In particular, our country firmly opposes the politicization of cooperation, the one-sidedness of energy and transport flows, and insists on the need for their diversification and availability for broad international participation. In Turkmenistan's view, the key mission of the Islamic world lies in creating the most favorable conditions for joint activities aimed at progressive and sustainable economic development on global and continental scales. In this context, Turkmenistan proceeds from the possibilities of effective use of diplomacy by Islamic countries as a tool to achieve the effective use of diplomacy, alignment of interests, mutual understanding, and realization of benefits and prospects of economic partnership. Turkmenistan implements these principles in practice primarily through the implementation of large-scale and long-term energy transfer and infrastructure projects in Asia. This includes the construction of international facilities such as the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline, power supply and fiber optic communication lines along the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan route, and railways connecting Central and South Asia with the Middle and Far East. I'm convinced that the implementation of the above-mentioned projects will significantly increase the level of energy security, provide many countries with access to sources of energy resources and key transport routes, promote the growth and diversification of trade and commercial ties, create new jobs, and solve many social problems. Ultimately, this will contribute to political stabilization, reduce risks and threats, and increase trust and predictability in interstate relations. Today, Turkmenistan is also actively working on the implementation of multimodal transit routes in Eurasia, passing through the territories of the Caspian and Black Sea basins, uniting European and the Asia-Pacific regions into a single transport system operating on coordinated principles and criteria. Such work requires a systematic approach to solving a set of organizational, legal, I would like to once again emphasize organizational, legal, economic, financial, and technological issues. Of course, these efforts require serious political and diplomatic support, approval, and decision-making at the level of the United Nations Organization. And here, I'm confident the solidarity position of Islamic countries will be of great importance. In this regard, we propose that Islamic financial and economic institutions, investment funds, provide more effective support to international economic projects involving our countries, and also join the process of developing strategic decisions adopted at the level of the United Nations Organization and other reputable international structures. An essential aspect of our cooperation is ensuring food security. This task is especially relevant now against the backdrop of complex geopolitical and economic realities observed in a number of regions of the globe. As a member country of the Islamic Organization for Food Security, Turkmenistan advocates a coordinated policy in the protection of the interests of those Islamic countries that for various reasons face shortages of food and other essential goods. Our country implements these principles in practice. In particular, demonstrating solidarity with the Afghan people, Turkmenistan has for many years sent regular humanitarian convoys to the brotherly neighboring country with food, baby nutrition, warm clothing, medicines, and personal hygiene items. We will continue this mission in the future. Another key area of cooperation is technology. In recent years, our countries have accumulated a solid body of achievements in high technologies, innovative developments in the field of artificial intelligence. This potential can and should be used in the common aspiration of the states of the Islamic world to reach the forefront of development for full and equal integration into global economic relations. We consider it expedient to establish systematic and regular channels of technological cooperation among our states, exchange experience, train specialized personnel, and launch joint multilateral innovative programs and projects of applied and fundamental research. Dear friends, distinguished participants, being in Kazan, I would especially like to note the achievements and successes in the cooperation between Turkmenistan and the Fraternal Republic of Tatarstan of the Russian Federation. Fruitful ties with our colleagues in Tatarstan are vivid example of effective interaction in the context of the development of trade, economic, and cultural humanitarian partnership between our country and Russia and its regions. In this sense, Tatarstan occupies a special place due to its powerful technological, resource, and industrial potential, as well as historical ties with Turkmenistan. We are engaged in joint activities with Tatarstan in the energy sector, industry, transport, trade, and other areas. I would especially like to note the support of these processes from the leadership and government of the Russian Federation. I express my gratitude for this approach, and I'm confident that it meets the long-term fundamental interests of the peoples of Turkmenistan and Russia and fully corresponds to the spirit and logic of strategic partnership between the two countries. And of course, I consider it important to emphasize the constructive and creative role of the Republic of Tatarstan and personal esteemed Rais Rustam Nurgaliyevich Minnikhanov in strengthening friendship, mutual understanding, trust, and cooperation between Islamic countries and Russia. This important mission is doing a lot for strengthening the ties between Islamic countries and Russia, and this important mission has deservedly earned the Republic of Tatarstan and its leadership a well-respected reputation not only among Islamic states but throughout the world. As part of the Islamic world, Turkmenistan is deeply committed to relations of brotherhood, solidarity, and respect with all its peoples, and is ready to develop and strengthen these ties, contributing to peace, progress, and prosperity of our countries. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Berdi Muhammadov, for your informative statement and for your vision of the prospects for interstate cooperation. Continuing our discussion on global partnerships, I would like to turn to the representative of a country of which I have a particular interest, having lived there for a number of years and which I still consider as my second home, Malaysia. Mr. Prime Minister Anwar bin Ibrahim, Malaysia is widely recognized as one of the fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia. This year, your country also assumes the honorable mission of chairing ASEAN, representing the interests of a community of more than 660 million people. This is particularly significant in the context of the region's growing role in the global economy and international relations. The floor is yours, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulih al-Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Deputy Prime Minister Marat Krishnolin of the Russian Federation, respected leader of the Turkmen people, Gurbanguly Berdi Muhammadov, my dear brother Rais Rustam Minnikhanov, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the land of the Tatars. And who else can describe the strength, the brilliance, the energy, to quote Leo Tolstoy in Haji Murad, first page. What energy and tenacity. He compared the people and the resilience, the diligence, the toughness to a thistle plant, sturdy, soiled with black mud, and yet cartwheel passed over the plant, yet the Tatars stood firm and did not surrender to man. I salute Rais and the people. That's why you see this spirit in Tatarstan with the Russian Federation changing the course of their history, leading the voice for the Muslim world, collaborating for a new venture to strengthen our economic fundamentals, to embark on a new journey, food security, digital, petrochemicals, or all fields of activity. I admire the tenacity and the dynamism as reflected by you, Rais, and the people of Tatarstan. May we learn from one another and build up from this strength. And in Tarmush, your great national poet, the pride of the Tatars, Abdullah Tukai wrote in 1908, Bu Tarmush kem bilan tuktar talaştan, sugush sin hit ke te armas tuk tamastan. So of course, I am excited to be here. Forgive me for the pronunciation. I have to spend a few days to improve. But that's the spirit. Never surrender. Having that courage. Facing the new challenges. New tariffs, sanctions, geopolitical pressures will not deter us. And let us therefore work together to strengthen our fundamentals, which of course begin with the economy. That is why the issue of embracing the halal adventure is very critical. It's more than $3 trillion operations. From the Gulf countries to the Middle East to Africa to Asia, we should then formalize and strengthen this cohesion. Then the Islamic finance, not a matter of adopting just what you call as riba free, but to enter into new innovations so that it offers an alternative and economically viable for the Muslim world and also the participation of non-Muslims in our societies and in non-Muslim countries. But beyond that, as we know, there are new challenges. Energy transition. Malaysia is fortunate because we have amongst our neighbors within ASEAN excellent relations based on trust and working together. And as you know, ASEAN happens to be one of the most peaceful regions in the world, one of the most dynamic, vibrant, and dynamic economically. And we therefore embark on some practical measures, like the ASEAN power grid, crossing from Vietnam into Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and from Sarawak, Sabah, Indonesia to the Philippines. So you can see, and Brunei. And you can see, therefore, the spirit working together among Muslim countries, among neighbors, would help immensely to uplift the living standards of our people. The other dictate is, of course, digital transformation. The leader of Turkmen people mentioned about artificial intelligence. The faster we embrace it, the more secure we will be. Yes, there is a difference. I'm not talking about economic fundamentals, energy transition, and digital transformation in the absence of imbibing values, character. Because after all, how do we honor, love, and follow the deeds of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? because of values and character. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. So the issue before us, for the young and for us, is to make sure that there is a difference. Family values is important. Trust, justice, honor, human dignity is important. That is why we reject the absence of a moral code, the hypocrisy of leaving thousands and thousands of people, women and children, killed daily in Gaza. Why? Because we believe in human dignity, irrespective whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, although we do emphasize on the issue of collaboration among Muslim countries, which we have talked for decades, but rather slow in executing the plan. But thank you again, the Republic of Tatarstan, for taking the initiative. And I am personally impressed because while meeting President Vladimir Putin, here comes a president who mentioned repeatedly the need to support this forum, the need to ensure that this forum is more pragmatic, meaningful, to strengthen the force among Muslim countries. So thank you, Rais, and convey my respects to the President for the support he has given. Of course, there are pronounced ulama, intellectuals, political leaders here who have deliberated these issues a number of times, and I have suggested in the strategic meeting this morning that for the youth, we should follow up, let our young boys and girls reflect upon what we have discussed, and offer more suggestions, express their support or disagreement, so that the voice of the youth are not only heard, but taken into very serious consideration, because we must ensure that the young feel and know that in our articulation of issues and decision in terms of our priorities, they will have a major say to affect programs that affect the young. So thank you very much again, the Republic of Tatarstan. And I wish you well. And I come here all the way from Malaysia just to express my support and admiration for all the good work and effort to strengthen our resolve. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the insightful presentation and the thought-provoking speech on digital development, Islamic values, digital development in Malaysia and ASEAN, moving from the global context to the regional experience of digital transformation, and stressing and enhancing on the values that are driving this transformation. Let me now turn to our hospitable host of the region, the visionary leader that has started this process with Tatarstan to become a real laboratory of digital innovation in Russia, to the chairman of the Group of Strategic Vision Russia Islamic World, the Rais of the Republic of Tatarstan, His Excellency Rustam Minikhanov, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Уважаемые руководители, премьер-министр Малайзии, уважаемый
Malaysia Prime Minister Gurbanguly Muhammadov, the leader of Turkmen people, Marat Shirkinjan, our brothers from Azerbaijan, from Uzbekistan, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear
зарубежных делегаций, российские наши коллеги. Искренне рад приветствовать вас на 16-м международном экономическом форуме «Российский мир» KazanForum.
Islamic world, KazanForum. We are grateful to the President of Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, for the trust and his unwavering support of the forum. You, Marat, Husnulin, and all the federal bodies, I'd also like to express my appreciation in organizing this event, as also to all of our honorable guests, participants of the forum, to our partners for their important contribution into its work. It is great to see that KazanForum today is bringing people from all over the world, creating conditions, opening doors for new contracts and specific cooperation projects. The business program of the forum is rich and diverse. Over 140 conferences are held on the most relevant subjects. Today, the pace of development of cooperation between Russian and Muslim countries is significantly accelerating. Joint projects are being implemented with partners from Central Asia, the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. A testament to the commitment of our overseas colleagues, the principles of multipolarity, is the expansion of BRICS. The summit of this association in Kazan last year brought together 36 countries and 6 international organizations. Of this, 16 are Islamic states. A good example of Russia's systemic work with Muslim states for many years is our republic, Tatarstan. And certainly, great support. Kazan 2022 was recognized as the youth capital of the Islamic world. And the following year is especially important. Kazan will become Islamic world cultural capital. This is huge trust. Let's please make a round of applause to our colleagues from Islamic countries for such high acclaim and trust. Certainly, work shows that trade turnover with countries of Organization of Islamic Cooperation has increased by 38% and amounts to about $8 billion. Successful work of working group Strategic Vision Russia Islamic World should also be noted. Significant events were held at the meetings of the group in Kazan in May and Malaysia in December. And certainly today's addresses by respected Gurbanguly Muhammadov and Anwar Ben Ibrahim suggest we're on the right track. Huge words of gratitude for such constructive advice and your addresses. I think this is huge support for all of us. Let's please put our hands together for our leaders for such kind words towards this forum. Dear colleagues, thanks to development of digital information technologies and digital platforms, today Tatarstan is actively integrating into global supply chains, increasing its attractiveness for investors and partners. Presence of about 3,500 IT companies and tens of thousands of IT experts allows us to develop and implement advanced technological solutions in many areas of public life. Today, digital technologies are making a real revolution in the financial sector, including the Islamic banking sector. Tatarstan is proud to be able to contribute to this global transformation. I would like to draw your attention to our experience in attracting investments in the IT sector and implementation of digital solutions in urban and public administration, also digital. It is also important to take into account cultural, religious traits and adapt them into digital technologies. Dear forum participants, distinguished guests, we have a lot more work to do to solve the intended goals. In completion, I would like to thank you all for your attention to our country, the Russian Federation, to our republic, and also for your active participation in KazanForum. On our behalf, we will endeavor to do everything so that our work is useful and also interesting. I'd like to wish all of you health, welfare, and also implementation of all the goals set, and bright impressions from your visit to our republic. Many thanks.
Thank you, Mr.
Спасибо, господин Миниханов, за яркий пример того, каким образом регион может стать драйвером изменений, а также гостеприимства, такой как Республика Татарстан, который еще раз показал
as a bridge between Russia and the Islamic world. Thank you again on behalf of everybody here. And with this, we thank all the speakers that joined us for this opening, and we will start our second part of the session with a short video that will go on, and I would like, yes, please. The three speakers that's Thank you and welcome again. And let me welcome to the stage our additional speakers, His Excellency Sheikh Ibrahim bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, Chairman of the IOFI Board of Trustees, Ms. Farida Abdullah Kambar Al Awadi, Chairperson and President of the Emirates Businesswomen Council, and Mr. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. Thank you. And we are joined as well with Mr. Marat Hosnuddin from the beginning, Mr. Shahin Abdullah Oglu Mustafayev, Deputy Prime Minister of Azerbaijan, and Mr. Jamshed Khojayev, Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Thank you for joining us. Your Excellencies, please welcome, please. Can we? Okay. Thank you. To start off our session, trade is very important. A relationship with Russia and the OIC organizations is very important, of course. But to do that, you have some prerequisites. To facilitate this process, you have to have some prerequisites. So what we see is that we have favorable situations now with the global surge in non-cash transactions. Digital transformation, the fuel for it will be the money, like the fuel of the transactions. Do we have cash transactions or we still use fiat money? So there has been a surge in non-cash transactions for the last few years, being more than $1.6 trillion globally. And it is expecting to grow to reach over 2.8 trillion in 2028. With this, the global trade as well have been expanding, and as we said just before, on the opening session, trade between Russia and the OIC countries has surged from 40 billion by the start of this forum to over 140 billion in the last year. Do you have a guess where that it will be by 2030, for example? It's a question we will perhaps discuss with our panel later on. Opportunities, of course, are here, but you have to have the right infrastructure to facilitate this process. And we have then we need to make sure our processes are in place to have the right infrastructure for this. So we'll start our panel discussion right now. Just give me 1 second. So I'll start with Mr. Jamshed Khodjayev. Uzbekistan, thank you for this. Uzbekistan is pursuing an active policy of digital transformation in various sectors of the economy. Please tell us about the key achievements of the Republic in the field of digitalization and which joint projects in the field of digital technologies become the basis for expanding mutually beneficial cooperation with Russia and OIC countries.
Good afternoon, dear participants of the session, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, Mr. Moderator. In fact, lately, Republic of Uzbekistan continuously implements large-scale reforms in digitalization, covering all key branches of the economy. These measures are aimed at increasing competitiveness of our country and establishment of a reliable platform for international technological cooperation. Today, we have certain results. For example, we have started a single national platform, e-government, which covers more than 300 state services. We established the National Center of AI Development, which is successfully developing and works on applied projects in healthcare, education, and industry. We have implemented the project of Digital Valley in Tashkent, the technical park, which has a attracted more than 200 residents, including international IT companies. In the agribusiness, we have implemented the smart agriculture elements and the system of management of water resources using the satellite data and IT technologies. We have implemented digital financial technologies. In 2024, the share of non-cash transactions was 80% of all transactions in retail sales. Lately, in the last 7 years, in the development of IT park, the number of residential companies increased by 18 times, having exceeded 2,600 enterprises, which employ more than 40,000 qualified specialists. The amount of IT services export increased several times in the last 5 years, and by the results of last year, made nearly $1 billion. I think that it is in these spheres that there are broad opportunities for implementation of joint projects with the Russian Federation and the OIC countries. In particular, we invite to joint work in the development of digital infrastructure, in establishment of joint IT hubs, in implementation of projects in AI, cybersecurity, and the development of platform of the Digital Silk Way aimed at the integration of e-trade platforms between our countries. Our governments gives special attention to the development of the IT industry. In our IT park, we create favorable conditions, support startups, as well as give preferences for the IT enterprises. Uzbekistan is open for deepening the technological partnership, for implementation of joint research work, as well as the exchange of experience in shaping the single digital environment. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Khojayev. Let me now move to Mr. Marat Hosnulin, Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation. Last year, we discussed in detail the importance of logistics corridors and the development of infrastructure for expanding interaction with the countries of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. As part of this new national project, Infrastructure for Life, what digital solutions will be used to implement these national projects? And how, perhaps you can share with us, do you assess the work of the forum in general?
Спасибо за вопрос. Россия активно внедряет сегодня информационные технологии во всех сферах деятельности. В прошлом году по поручению президента мы утвердили ряд национальных проектов, в которых определили перспективу развития страны на 6 лет и до 30 года, в перспективе до 36 года. Что касается инфраструктуры для жизни, это национальный проект, который объединил в себе все, что связано с человеком. Где человек живет, куда он ходит, где он отдыхает, как он передвигается. Мы все объединили в один проект. И, конечно же, для реализации этих проектов мы совершенно четко понимаем, что нам не хватает сегодня трудовых ресурсов. У нас есть серьезное ограничение за счет санкционного давления. Сегодня фактически все информационные ресурсы, международные программы прекратили свою деятельность на территории Российской Федерации. Но мы, несмотря на это, создали свои программные продукты. Мы ежегодно видим прирост IT-инфраструктуры от 15 до 20% ежегодно. И вот если говорить об инфраструктуре для жизни, то мы попытались, как вот собрали все проекты инфраструктуры в один проект. Также все информационные ресурсы мы тоже собрали в один проект. Мы ставим себе задачу до 30 года построить более миллиарда квадратных метров недвижимости.
billion of square meters of accommodation by 2030, and more than 700,000 will be a residential housing. Of course, we need to increase the working capacity. We should implement information technologies, and we decided to go blockwise. For example, today we have a completely information control system on all developers. Everybody who builds a multi-apartment house are controlled, and the history of the construction for the last 6 years is represented in this information resource. We have created a separate program, which is named the National System of Spacious Data, where we have 2,000 different layers: geodesic, cartography, cadastre, land management, agriculture, transport, and power engineering. This is our main national system, and using it as a basis, we developed an international platform, and the more information resources we have, the more we integrate it into this national system. Our task is in the next 2-3 years to develop 200 master plans of the development of settlements, 2,064 settlements with 65% of the population living there. We need to develop plans where the quality of life of residents will increase by 30% in 6 years. It is a very difficult task, a very comprehensive task, and we are doing this within the development of the complex infrastructure. We have certain issues for the utility services, and to control this service, we have established the State Information Service, which is GIS of utility sector, which shows us what amount of services is provided to the residents and how they are controlled. We actively are dealing with the improvement program, and we managed to attract a maximum amount of people. Residents by themselves choose their settlements, which spaces, which yards needs to be improved. For the first, we give the money comes from the federal, from regional budgets, and we developed a special informational platform, the city urban environments in the state services platform. And we used this platform, and there were 17 billion people who took part in this voting. We are now having the next voting, and we can see that more and more people will take part in it. We have developed a 6-year plan for the development of highways, where we used the complete information: what is going to be built, what is going to be reconstructed, how all the plans will be interrelated concerning the international transport corridors, the development of regional highways, municipal roads, and what section of road, when and how will be repaired or constructed. And now we are just discussing this with our regions and Ministry of Transport, and have signed all necessary documents. And we developed a special information product for that. And our next work is decrease of construction cycle and investment cycle, and we set forth a task that any facility, except for the complex one and unique ones, took no more than 1,000 days. And to manage to do this in 1,000 days, starting from an idea, because we have to have the city building, the land ownership, and so on, the engineering network, and we are doing this work on the basis of the information resource, and various regions took active work in this platform. Moscow is very much ahead, because all what I am speaking about has been developed in Moscow. Moscow has a digital twin of the city, where it has everything that has been constructed, which is under construction. Everything was digitalized. And now the task is to collect all our information resources and to develop a single digital platform. Representatives of the OAS countries are as a rule, Muslim countries with a fast-growing population, fast-growing economy, and the cities and settlements are constantly changing the requirements for the life quality to the development strategy. And I think that this topic is exceptionally important. And now we have reached the next stage when we need to use AI as much as possible. Even though we're just making first steps in it, we can see a large prospects in that. And using this chance, I invite all colleagues from all participants of the forum. We are ready to share our experience, and if anyone has experience in the spheres I named, we're happy to cooperate, to borrow, to buy, to implement joint projects, which will give big result for the development of our countries, our regions, and the most important, that life of our people will become better from implementation of such projects. Thank you very much for your attention. We are ready for cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Hosnelin. Indeed, digitalization opened up fundamentally new forms of cooperation, and I'm sure that there are tremendous opportunities with the cutting-edge level of development of technology and innovations within the Russian Federation, and the huge market opportunity of economy and youth population in the OIC countries. Let me now expand a little bit our geographic interest of our discussion and turn back to the other part of our panel, to the experience of Azerbaijan, a country that is actively implementing digital solutions across multiple sectors. Mr. Mustafayev, Azerbaijan is actively developing digital solutions in public administration and business. Can you please share with us what innovative digital projects are being implemented in your country, and how do they affect economic growth and investments attractiveness, and in which areas do you see prospects for digital cooperation between Russia and other OIC countries? Please.
Thank you so much, dear moderator, and good evening, dear forum participants. Well, first of all, I would like to thank the government of the Russian Federation and the government of the Republic of Tatarstan for the great organization of the forum and the hospitable reception offered to all of us. I can confidently state that this forum takes an important place among international platforms and certainly helps towards cementing cooperation between Russia and the Islamic world. I would like to express gratitude to the hospitable owners of the forum for the invitation and say that Azerbaijan is taking part proudly in its work. Digitalization is one of the key sectors of Uzbekistan policy in improving the quality of life of the people. And certainly one of state priorities, the basis of the policy, is the concept of digital development of the Republic of Azerbaijan, which was approved by presidential decree. The key goals are improving the well-being of the citizens, creating advantageous business climate and flexible state administration. MyGov platform was created in Azerbaijan. It provides for state services, government services to the citizens. All of the services are digitalized. It should be noted that according to the one-stop shop window principles, this MyGov platform provides for a full range of services. Future expansion and scaling of the platform will see connection of new services, which are already functioning on specialized digital platforms. Electronic social system, single social register, which provides for citizens access to different social services, including pensions, disability payments, benefits and also enables e-certificates. Electronic notary services unites the whole country's services for notarizations. E-customs is an electronic customs system providing for online declaration of products. Freight, processing, electronic procedures. Also, electronic platform was created to support farmers in the agricultural sector, providing information on agricultural subsidies and providing ability to file for government support measures in the agricultural sector. MyGov also provides for various electronic police services. All the contracts are fully digitalized with e-signatures. The procedure for creating registration of companies is also being digitalized. I should also note a very important factor of development. Azerbaijan has an approach strategy on AI for year 25 to 28, covering the application of AI in various sectors. E-signature, which is provided in digital logging framework, is a mobile app which is based on AI technologies, cloud computing, and biometric face recognition. Citizens and companies can instantly confirm identity and sign documents electronically. 40% of Azerbaijan's population are using this service already. Full digitalization of document turnover between government services is integrated. Over 2,300 government services are integrated into a single document turnover. Also, Russian online marketplace Ozone is actively working in Azerbaijan, which is improving our bilateral trade relations. Now, in terms of digitalization, we should also know some implemented projects on digital logistical platforms within the framework of International Transport Corridor North-South. All of this aids creation of more transparent and dynamic business environment internationally and domestically. In state administration, digitalization provides for transparency, efficiency, and effective usage of financial administrative resources. Anti-corruption. The sustainable policy of digitalization implemented in Azerbaijan aids sustainable development, economically inclusive well-being of the population, and also effective state administration. Digital transformation, we are convinced, is not just a technological process, but a powerful tool to improve international cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the detailed analysis of digital transformation in Azerbaijan. It's really interesting to see how different countries in the region are forming their own approaches to digitalization that take into account national specifics and which offer further areas of cooperation among the countries themselves and with the OIC countries. I would like now to move to see the views from the private sector, and in particular, women. I suggest to consider talking to Mr. Al-Awadi. The UAE Women's Business Council has made significant strides in expanding economic opportunities for women under your leadership. The United Arab Emirates is always known for its progressive initiatives on gender equality in business and other innovations. How do you assess the impact of digitalization on opportunities for women entrepreneurs? And what digital solutions and platforms, in your opinion, could most effectively contribute to strengthening the role of women in the development of economic cooperation between Russia and the Islamic world? And finally, which technology areas offer the greatest prospects for joint initiatives, in your opinion? Please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to speak to you today about a topic that truly reflects the spirit of progress in our nation. The intersection of digitalization and women entrepreneurship in United Arab Emirates. We are living in an era defined by rapid technology change across the world. Digital tools are revolutionizing industries, reshaping how we communicate, and opening new doors for innovation. In United Arab Emirates, digitalization is doing something even more powerful. It is empowering women. It's empowering women to lead, to innovate, and to build the future. The United Arab Emirates Digital Government Strategy 2025 and broader digital economy vision are not just about efficiency, they are about inclusion. Through smart infrastructure, e-commerce, and digital services, women now have easier, faster access to the tools and platforms they need to start and grow their businesses. From e-commerce to fintech, from digital marketing to AI-driven startups, Emirati and resident women are entering high-growth, technology-enabled sectors like never before. The digital space that has leveled the playing field for female in the world of men's that was occupied by men mainly. It has reduced the need for large physical investment, minimized barriers to market entry, market entry, and allowed flexible, scalable business models. Initiatives like She Trade, Women in Tech UAE, and government-supported escalators are helping women harness digital tools to scale their venture and to grow their business activities. In fact, women now own over 50% of SMEs in the United Arab Emirates. And many of these are digitally driven. This isn't just impressive, it's transformational. It's also not just about infrastructure, it's about building talent and confidence. The United Arab Emirates is actively investing in digital literacy, coding programs like 1 million Arab coders, and AI training designed specifically for women in the field. These initiatives are ensuring that women are not just consumers of technology, they are creators, inventors, and leaders in this digital era. Digitalization also enables women to connect with global market, with mentors, with funding, and with each other. Social medias, online platforms, and digital marketplaces are providing women empowerment in United Arab Emirates with unprecedented reach and visibility, both locally and internationally. In short, digitalization no longer is a choice. It is a catalyst. For women and for the future economy. Empowering women in this field in the United Arab Emirates is showing the region and the world how it can be done, and with vision, investment, and commitment to gender equity. Let us continue to support our women, entrepreneurs, and women in everywhere by providing with access to technology, training, and capital, because when women thrive in the digital economy, everyone will benefit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Shukran, Salawadi. Thank you for the insightful observations on the transformative role of digital technology in empowering women in business. The link between inclusivity and economic development is clear. It is a logical move from the social dimension of digitalization to its financial dimension, which is the foundation for all economic initiatives, which lead us smoothly to our next speaker, His Excellency Sheikh Ibrahim bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, has been the architect among the architects of the financial sector in the Kingdom of Bahrain in his different roles in the Central Bank of Bahrain and as Minister of the Economy, and now as the IOFI, Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. Your Excellency, Islamic finance has shown impressive growth over the past decade. At the same time, IOFI standards play a significant role in addressing the main challenges in regulating digital Islamic financial instruments. What key opportunities do you envision for deeper cooperation between Russia and OIC member countries in advancing Islamic finance with Russia, and how can IOFI contribute strategically to these developments? Looking forward to your insights.
I shall try. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much for introducing me. Yeah, I'm just in particular would like to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation for the Russian Federation, for Mr. Maat, for President Rostam, for all this beautiful organization. We are really honored to be here, and inshallah we look forward to continue this drive. Digitalization of the financial center is going into taking a J-curve. This type of business need to be, attached on daily basis, because the development and the changes in it cannot be followed. You cannot do enough on it. In any case, the growth of digitalization only in Islamic banking is going at a rate of at least on compounded annual rate of 17%, saying the least of that. It has reached now close to $4 trillion, the total of it, but it's expected to reach $6.7, $6.8 trillion in the next 3 years. Digitalization of it, we have quite a large number here with me who came here, and they are working on it. And we have extended that in meeting with the Russian banks. And the opportunity is enormous for us. It is enormous, without any. Cooperation with Tatarstan or the Federation, the Russian Federation, or the Eurasian area, all, it needs a real look now by the time. Here, the real economy in this country or in this region is huge. And we would like to walk away from this real estate investment and something like that. We want to return on what we are doing through manufacturing, through agriculture, food security, transportation, communication, and finally trade and so on. So we are going on full speed, and we are looking how to do that. Most of the countries like Azerbaijan, like Turkmenistan, like the others, are member of the Islamic Development Bank, and therefore all investments, and it has to be made very clear, all investments by anybody, not us, in these countries are guaranteed 100%, guaranteed in terms of credit, guaranteed in terms of liquidity, and guaranteed of lending to them the rating of our agencies. So investment in that direction goes full, and that is another hand to be extended for Islamic banking and so on. This is one. The second thing is that looking at the growth and the demand, and we are today have looked at two main opportunities. One of them, hopefully, that we can finish before the end of June, and they are working on it. I think by today or tomorrow will be done. The second one will be done this afternoon. But in any case, we are looking that if IOFI standard, which has been now the Central Bank of Russia, is a member of IOFI, and if this is now within this pilot project, which is carried by the government of Russia or the Russian Federation, it's going forward, it is delivering, and they would need some time, which we understand and we should encourage. We want this to go with full knowledge by the authority in Moscow first and in the other republics. And we are getting all the cooperation from them. But that, by standardizing all of that, we get integrity, Sharia integrity, consumer protection, and product transparency, which is very essential for moving forward the business. And not only in Russia, but also that expand this spectrum to be followed in 47 countries all over, mainly in Africa and Eurasian area. And taking into this, if we help the integrated Russian financial market to the OEC country, and then this will help us to bring the ecosystem. The other thing, is, of course, is a big issue, which is building the human capital right here. And we have signed two main agreements. One with a university, which we are very proud to have worked with it in the past. It is the University of Chechnya, and we signed with them yesterday something for a major project. Hopefully they can do. And the other is the Federal University of Kazan, or Olga region, I think they call it Olga region. And they are also taking care of building the human capital into this. With that, I would like just to thank you very much. And if you need any further information, I can do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the comprehensive analysis of the prospects of Islamic finance and role of digital technology in this process. I think, okay, we have seen the digital transformation. We have seen what governments can do on that, and the administrations, and the private sector, the finance, what it can do. But we can't do this without a sound and a smooth global logistics, right? Global logistics is undergoing rapid digital transformation. So we would like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, Group Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of DP World. Mr. bin Sulayem, how does DP World use digital technologies to optimize global supply chain? And what impacts do these innovations have on the development of international trade? And what you see as like digital logistics projects could be implemented in partnership between OIC states and the Russian Federation?
Thank you very much. I am very honored to attend this forum and this distinguished panel. Digitalization is very important for our business in logistics, our business in the port and customs. And if you look at a consignment that could take 10 hours by air to reach an airport in one country, it takes 48 hours to clear it. That's because of lack of information. So we have implemented in 2005 a port community system in Dubai, which means basically if someone wants to clear a cargo, they go to the platform, and from there automatically he is directed to the customs. under the port, and everything get cleared digitally. During the pandemic, we faced a big problem whereby we cannot communicate with people. The digitalization helps. In the Dominican Republic, we introduced the port community. It reduced the time by 27% and reduced the cost by almost 30%. When you talk about our business, where we say from factory floor till customer door, digitalization helps a lot. Help the customs and others, and allow people to clear the cargo before the consignment arrives. We have a good example. We introduced our system in UK. Today, in the port in UK, we use our own system. Heathrow Airport uses our system also. We introduce also some platforms ourselves. One of them is called cargos.com, where people can use it to book as consignment or trace a consignment to know when it will arrive. We have also a Digital Freight Alliance, is a platform where people in the freight forwarding, they can bid for cargo and give the best price. We use also digital and AI in predictive analysis, whereby we can predict the cargo arrival, we can predict what we need to do. It's very crucial. The problem today is that we are not speaking the same language in the transportation. When we look at the supply chain, it is the most inefficient industry, never been disrupted. Costs are high. And so by using blockchain, we can identify the real cost, and we can interfere and have value in improving it. Business will move better if we can speak the same language. That means everybody in this south or north-south trade should use digital system to allow. And I know I've been to Azerbaijan, and I was very impressed with the system they have, where the government can interfere when they see something delayed immediately. And I've seen it in many countries where they adapted it. It saves time and gives us a quick decision to make.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the insights. I think we don't have much time, but before concluding, I would like to give the opportunity to each of our speakers, maybe a 20-second closing statement, for which I would like to think and respond to one question. What would be the #1 wish that you would have to reach for this trade between OIC countries and Russian Federation, the 1 trillion mark? Maybe we start with Mr. Shaheen Abdullah Mustafayev, Deputy Prime Minister of Azerbaijan, from that side. In 20 seconds, share with us your #1.
Thank you so much. To achieve results, I spoke of Azerbaijani concept, and I think we can achieve that growth. Secondly, as I mentioned in my presentation, with the Russian Federation, we are digitalizing international transport corridor north-south. Dear Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem spoke about that. It's a priority direction. I think we should continue along that vector. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Let's move now to Uzbekistan and Mr. Khojayev, Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uzbekistan. What is your #1 advice to reach that 1 trillion in exchange?
Как вы сами все знаете, что увеличение товарооборота зависит от многих факторов, и сегодня участники, спикеры как раз об этом все говорили. И по развитию логистики, и по развитию цифровых расчетов.
regarding development of digital platforms and other services, other cooperation projects, which will basically stimulate trade. So if we consider all of this vectors of development, if we continue developing and digitalizing, I think all of the goals of rising trade turnover will be achieved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hadjaev.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Al-Awadi, maybe you tell us in a few words, what's your wish?
Actually, I would like to thank the organizers, and I'd like to thank especially the organizer for Women Prospect, which I've been dealing with, for putting such a huge effort to bring distinguished women from different parts of the Islamic world together and to bring us the opportunity and the possibility for building bridges and actually communicating. And I think that digital tools will really make this job much easier for the future and will make the possibility for continuity of that and building a strong relation between us. And believe me, when women are becoming active in business or economic work, we always say in the Islamic world, we are not competing with men. We are putting our hands together to build our countries in a stronger way, in a better way, and definitely we love to take our families and create a strong family with a strong future. Thank you.
I can't agree more with you on this. Let's now hear from Sheikh Ibrahim Khalifa on number one wish to reach an exponential growth of this relationship, Russia, OIC countries.
Okay, I'm not trying to throw it on you, but each economy has sectors, okay? But in the middle, there is something called the financial wheel. If this works properly and directly, this trade will boom. One big example, if you want, I'll take it from our brother from the United Arab Emirates, is Emirates Airline. In the old days, if we want to travel here and here and here, it takes time. Now, if you fly to Dubai and go wherever you want, directly. If we do that with goods and services, we'll reach that very quickly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Sultan.
I mentioned that we need to speak the same language in the transportation, and especially what faces us today are delays. We move cargo already from Dubai through Iran and to this region, as well as from Pakistan through Iran again. And what you face are delays, and I wish there would be a system where you can pre-clear the cargo. In other words, when the cargo reaches a custom destination in any country, they should have the information already online, and they don't delay them. The problem is they have no information until they come. And this is very important. Pre-clearance of cargo will resolve a lot of issues. If you need certain approval from a certain entity, if it is pre-clear, they will know and they'll get it where the cargo comes.
Thank you so much. And you have heard the statements from the different speakers. Then closing now to Mr. Hosnuddin, representing the Russian Federation.
Вы знаете, у нас на форум приехало такое большое количество участников. Мне кажется, что если в результате форума каждый приедет к себе домой, доложит своим руководителям, своим лидерам стран о том, что нужно делать, и сконцентрирует усилия на достижении этой задачи, мне кажется, у нас все получится. А если мы еще при этом сделаем единую цифровую платформу для достижения этой цели стран АИ, что, безусловно, успех у нас, то мы точно получим успех. Я хочу, пользуясь случаем, еще раз сказать всем спасибо за ваше время, за вашу энергию, за то, что вы вместе с нами здесь делаете. Спасибо.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the close of the session. I would like to join me in thanking our speakers and experts for sharing with us their insights. It's a rare opportunity to have such a panel with us. Thank you.